We're Bison! We are impacted! We're Bison! We're ready to get up! We want to win! Light the fire of power that make us free! We never break down! We want to win! We are impacted! The best team!
Hello and welcome to TNI Impacted episode 95, coming at you live from the Total Nonstop network via YouTube and on Twitch. Today I am your host, once again coming from the void and the empty space of my mind, the Joker, and I'm joined by the man simply known as Steve. How are you today?
We're doing all right, thanks, my man. How's everything going your end?
Baking.
Yes.
Absolutely baking. And
Yep.
quick shout out to Malachi, thank you for the super sticker. Hello to Violet, hello to whoever's on the TNI channel. Donald, hello. How's everyone's? Hope you guys are having a good weekend, and who's excited for Emergence this Friday?
Yeah, like I say, we were talking about this earlier. It feels weird to have it on a Friday, but it could be a blessing in disguise, like they had with the change to the Saturdays, couldn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. But it's going to be weird, but we'll have to see because they've then got the weekend to do everything they need. So yeah, it could be one of those blessings in disguise, like they had with the change to from Sunday to Saturday.
Yeah, like Miriam, it's the third week with the Bison on its way to Chicago. You'll be at Emergence. You might see him, and you'll be at the tapings.
Yeah.
So
if you're watching Emergence, you may see him there, or if you're at Emergence, you may see him there. So yeah, he may even pop in later.
Yeah, if he's not back tonight or this week, he'll be back the week after. So you got another 2 weeks of me in charge. So just bear with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, and quick shout out to Gary Ward and the team at Wrestle Carnival after they crossed the 1 year anniversary on Sunday for their whole production. We went to their show in July at the Ringmasters show, and it was absolutely incredible. But the show they had on Sunday also featured superstars from Pro Wrestling Noah for the first time. And from what I can gather, it was a huge success. So congratulations to Gary, congratulations to the team at Wrestle Carnival, and belated happy birthday and congratulations to the spectacular twat, Master Trickster, and Vagabond himself, Charles Crowley, who retained his championship at the event, only to get attacked afterwards. But that's another story.
Yeah, like I say, it's one of those where he's always going to be the villain, but to himself, he's always the hero, and you until you see him in person, you don't realise how good he is.
James, right, you're watching this on when you commute home. Hope you have a safe trip home.
Yeah, indeed, and hopefully we can provide you enough entertainment to have a good commute home.
Yeah, we'll try not to bore you too much. Let's see. Let's get on to the news, rumours, and recaps. There's once again more praise for Scott D'Amore, guys. First of all, happy birthday, Scott D'Amore. It was his birthday on Monday. Happy birthday to the man who's been voted the best producer and booker by PWI, I think it was, or one of the big dirt sheets has pushed Scott D'Amore as the best booker and all that sort of stuff recently. And following the trend of praise from talent last week, Brian Myers has joined the likes of Taya Valkyrie in expressing how much of a game changer Scott D'Amore has been, stating in a recent interview that over his 18-year career, Impact Wrestling is the best place he can be in. And like Taya Valkyrie, Sami Callihan and Rocky Romero have done over the last few weeks, there's been a huge amount of praise for how Scott D'Amore's running the company, and the locker room, the atmosphere out back, and the people working together. It's just like a huge atmosphere that Scott D'Amore, and especially, is really attributed to making Impact Wrestling feel like the place to go if you want to change everything and really get back into wrestling.
Definitely. Yeah, you see it with so many wrestlers that, and even years ago, Scott D'Amore just knew how to reinvent wrestlers, and I think he knows how to connect with wrestlers personally, so he can offer whoever he's speaking to say, okay, this is what I think, but what do you think as well?
Yeah. We spoke to Crazy Steve about it. He went into great depth about how Scott D'Amore just let everyone's wings go. Rosemary, when Rosemary spoke to the Bison, she even touched on it then. That Impact Wrestling just allows everyone to be themselves a lot more, and it just seems to be the best place to be if you want to show yourself.
Now, just reading Mir's comment, please don't play that Scott D'Amore soundbite. I have to hear it over and over and over again. Yeah, no, don't worry, we won't play it.
What Scott D'Amore soundbite? I don't know which one this is.
Oh, I feel like I don't want to play it now because.
No, I'm going to be wondering what it is all night now.
Here we go. I'll play it once, and then when we played it once, that'll be it.
Impact Wrestling!
Yep, Scott D'Amore is the man of Impact Wrestling. And other news, Laredo Kid's sent out a massive call to luchadors, and he's laid out his future plans for him, where he's going in pro wrestling. In an interview yesterday with WrestleZone, Laredo Kid praised Impact Wrestling's use of local and international talent, keeping each set of tapings different as the roster sees fresh faces come and go everywhere it goes. For example, when we got to the Chicago tapings, we had talent from ABW come in a couple of weeks before, and we had talent from other local promotions coming there, and we're now seeing luchadors from AAA coming in once again. They were at Ric Flair's last match, so it was easier for them to come to Impact Wrestling for from the Chicago tapings. So we got Ray Horace and Bandido. He also he's extremely excited to see more luchadors arriving, like the aforementioned luchadors just mentioned now. There's something he'd like to see a lot more often now, especially with the strong refinement that the talent has elsewhere on the roster, like especially the Knockouts division. He touched on is really, really strong at the moment. So now let's get some more luchadors on board and see what they can do. And he's also talked about entering the tag team division, be it in Impact Wrestling or the next stage in his pro wrestling career as a whole, with high hopes and interest in teaming with Bandido, someone who he has teamed with before, but never as a fully established tag team, like being with America's Most Wanted, LAX, or the Motor City Machine Guns, to give you guys a few examples. The link for this interview will be in the video's comments after we finish the live broadcast. I'll post it on there, but it is also on my Twitter account if you guys want to jump over to there and read it there while listening to this. Any thoughts to add to that, Steve?
Yeah, no, it's a really good interview, so I would suggest going and giving it a look. And it's interesting now that, like we touched on last week, that Laredo Kid is now signed to Impact. What he's got in his vision, obviously the X division he touched on, but the fact that he's intrigued to go after the tag titles, like we saw years ago with him and Garza Jr. And the fact that he mentioned Bandido is one of those things that you think, well, maybe we could see him stick around a little bit. And it's one of those things where I would love to see those two tag together, and that would bolster the tag team division a little bit more. And he's right, we could use a bit more luchador flavour in Impact, because it is something we don't have a lot of.
Yeah, he mentioned Taya Valkyrie being a huge player there as well, and Black Taurus, but they seem to be the only ones that are really there at the moment. So hopefully, if we go back to Mexico, that will bring some more faces in too. But any luchadors that appear in Impact Wrestling bring a huge amount of eyes onto the product.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Violet, for your super sticker. It's so greatly appreciated. Hopefully
you'll get to meet the Bison.
Yes.
When you go to Chicago, get him to get you a pint from us. Tell him it's on us. So we'll have to send him the money when he gets back. But tell him it's from us. And Madison Rain's status has been confirmed, as we saw last Friday. Sadly, she has officially left Impact Wrestling to work with AEW in the ring, and more importantly, behind the scenes in the booking, talent development, or potential talent scout. Madison made a debut last Friday on Rampage, and it's expected that this week's match against Miriam will be her last, as their rivalry is reignited for one last time by Gail Kim.
Yeah, it's a shame because Madison does have a lot to offer. The Knockouts roster, I mean, we saw that with Tenille, how just being alongside Tenille has really elevated her. But it's one of those where the Knockouts division is always revolving. You lose one, someone else comes in and lifts it up again. And I think, you've got Gail Kim in there, you've got Christy Hemme doing stuff, you've got Maria Kanellis, Mickie James when she's there. That's 4 good heads that are seeing over the Knockouts division. And you can be sure that with losing Madison, they have someone else in mind that they could bring in.
Yeah. Just reading Dead Punk's comment. Aerostar and Riddle would be fantastic too. We saw I've seen him tag in the past, and we've seen what he's done with the likes of Drago. Aerostar is just a phenomenal athlete himself. I would love to see Aerostar back in Impact Wrestling, but I could definitely see him and Laredo Kid even just going as a team elsewhere, because where Laredo Kid is wanting to go as in the tag team hasn't been fully established. It could be in Impact Wrestling, or it could be like I mentioned, like Luke LAX have done, and go across the board. It's something to look out for, and something that's really. It's good to see he's got a vision of where he wants to go now. He's a bit more. He's got a bit more freedom because he was
definitely
AAA.
Yeah, definitely, and like I say, names like Aerostar, they were ones that impressed back when they came in. I think during the 2013-14 period. I think. Yeah. He's someone that really could come in and light it up. And yes, possible, James, that Gail did say that there will be some new faces coming in soon, and new faces are always welcome, especially in the Knockouts division, because when you've got the tag titles, you do need to bolster it up a little bit.
Definitely. Yeah. Other news, Matthew Rainwald has announced that he's officially stepping away from in-ring action. This has been down to his own personal preference, with working on commentary and behind the scenes rather than in the ring. For a while, he's had doubts where he was most confident, and on Saturday, he put a message out on Twitter saying that he's stepping back from in-ring work and he's focusing more on commentary. And he's also confirmed that he's not a part of Impact Wrestling. He's still technically a free agent, but while he has no intention of leaving Impact Wrestling, he has said his calendar's open over the next few months for anyone else looking to book him either for ringside or backstage. He got an overwhelming amount of response from everybody, from fans, myself included, just to thank him and wish him good luck and everything. And this was acknowledged on Sunday morning in a very, very emotional response by Drama King soon afterwards. He thanked everyone for the support that he's been given, and it was just really nice to see. And all I can say is good luck wherever you're heading to next, and after real good. But I really do hope you and Tom Hannafin are remain safe for Impact Wrestling, because you guys have been absolutely fantastic so far, and I don't want to see it change anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see, after everything that's been going on and how much he praised Impact, that it would be a case of, okay, we're moving on now. And if it is, it's a real shame. But the fact that he said, okay, yeah, I'm not going to focus on in-ring no more, it does leave his options open to more commentary, more maybe backstage interviewing, or even learning stuff behind the scenes. And he's someone that you really could feel could offer stuff behind the scenes. So it's going to be interesting because, like you say, Impact are very flexible. I believe he is still doing commentary with New Japan. So yeah, so who knows? It's one of those things where, and obviously how Impact tape, they do a few days and then he's free to do whatever he likes. So I can see him still sticking around. It's just a case of what else he does now if he's not going to wrestle. Yeah,
and like you said, a lot of stuff. He's got a lot. He could do a lot of stuff backstage as well. He mentioned earlier in the year that he had thought about leaving wrestling, leaving the in-ring work ages ago. But I think this was back in April. But to have it finally out in the open now, he's like he's finally made his mind up, and he's got a bit more of a clearer ambition where he wants to go to next. So it's good to know that weight is off his shoulders.
I mean, he's got the ability to be a manager.
He'd be a great manager for Jennifer Brasi, but she doesn't need it now.
No, like I say, you want to put managers with wrestlers who struggle to speak. There's no point having a manager with Deonna Purrazzo because she has the ability to be her own character.
Yeah. Impact Wrestling was back at Fort Lauderdale, Florida in December. That's good to know. I knew we got some news and where they're going to be over the next couple of months, but to go before December, that's good to know, Terence.
Yeah, that's not a bad call, Violet. I would still love to see Gia in the ring. I think she has a lot to offer inside the ring.
Yeah.
But getting the Drama King to do a few backstage interviews and opening Gia up to a few extra bits within Impact is not a bad call.
That would be interesting. It would also, the Bison's been calling for a female commentator for a while, and Vader Scott's been on his mind. But I think Gia Miller would be a really good choice as well. Yeah.
I mean, just imagine if. And it probably won't happen, but just imagine if we got the commentary team of Gia and Josh.
Oh, God.
Those two would be at each other's throats all night.
Triple A's World Championship will be defended after Emergence at the Second City Slam. And Trent's going to kill me if I fuck this up, but I'll try and get the guy's name right. The champion, Matt Fisher, takes on one called Manders, and this is a huge moment for AEW. I think I already got that wrong. I said AAA, not AEW to begin with, so Trent can get me with a chair now. So anyway, let's try and carry on. It's a huge news for AEW that they've got a match set up from Impact Wrestling, and hopefully more to come. We've seen one called Manders versus Mike Bailey a couple of weeks ago on the digital media exclusives, and that was an incredible match. So I'm looking forward to seeing what two AAW talents can do one-on-one and really showcase what they can do in Impact Wrestling. But again, this is another thing that the Radio Kids praised Impact Wrestling for. They're giving other companies the option to come and work here for a couple of matches and show off what they can do. And I don't know that much else to add without going over myself. So any more thoughts to add, Steve?
Yeah, like you said, that it's an opportunity to give talent the chance to showcase. Okay, what can you do, and can you do it on a slightly bigger stage? And also, it's an opportunity for Impact to get a look at some other wrestlers that they think, okay, are you the kind of wrestler that we would like? And if both mix, then it's an instant. Okay, yeah, we like you. We'll take you. If not, then it's one of those where it's like, okay, maybe go away, develop a bit more, and then we'll give you another opportunity. Because this isn't the first time I think we've seen one called Manders. I think we've seen him a few times over the years. So, like I say, they obviously have an eye for talent that they like, but it's like a case of, okay, well, if you don't get signed right then and there, it's not the end of the world. It's just a case of it's not yet.
Yeah. I think one of the good things is that they're openly representing the companies that they're working for now. They're going to be representing AEW because the title's being defended. But if they were to go to like WWE, they would have to fight to get their name on the. Well, they probably wouldn't now. They would in the past have to fight to get their brand on the card.
Yeah.
Look at Mickey James at the Royal Rumble when they got her in there. She has to fight to get the knockouts. The knockouts title mentioned. Yeah. And even we all know what happened there.
And,
so we'll leave it there.
And it's a different way of looking at it. But Impact, and whether the promotions like this or not, but like there's a lot. The promotions that Impact are working with kind of feel a bit like they're developmentals. You know, you've got a lot of promotions that Impact are working with, and they're doing a lot with talent, and obviously Impact is sending a lot of talent over there, maybe as scouters, sort of thinking, okay, that talent looks quite, you know, like they've got something, and yeah, like, you know, the bigger the connection that they work up, you know, the bigger connection that you have in that kind of developmental field.
Yeah. To go on to what Bonkers was saying, Jay Chuck, I don't think she's wrestling anytime soon.
No.
At the moment, she's she's got Jet and her other son at the moment, and at the moment she's mostly just there to be with Josh Alexander. I know she did mention a couple of months ago that she had crossed her mind, but she should start training to get back in the ring, even just to get in shape to get in the ring. But I don't think she's going to be wrestling anytime soon. Just having a quick look through the other comments. It's a big scale. Okay, where are we? Upcoming events. Victory Road returns on September 23rd, followed by next day tapings at Starway Studios in Nashville, Tennessee. Last Thursday, news broke that Bound for Glory is coming on October 7th at Washington Avenue Armory, in Albany, New York. And they're going to be returning to Las Vegas on the 23rd and 24th of October. So, and we got the news from the chat here that they're going to be going back to Fort Lauderdale in December. So we got some major announcements from where Impact Wrestling is going over the next couple of months. So it's great news for the fans, and especially the fans in New York. Exactly.
Yeah, no, they're definitely starting to try and spread the wings a little, and like we say, like we touched on earlier, like being careful with what other events are going on around them. But it's nice to it's going to be interesting to see these Friday night events, how well they go down. It could be a blessing in disguise. But yeah, no, the venues and the locations, I think they're starting to, like you say, spread their wings, but also go back to places that they know are also going to do well for them. Yeah. So yeah, it's the next year, I think, is going to be the one where Impact kind of, you know, get their venues where, like, okay, this is where we are, where we know we can go back to, and it's going to be good for us. Like you might even see them branch back into Canada, maybe Mexico, if the borders start to open up again.
Yeah, but that's clearly the next goal for them is Mexico and Canada. It's clearly where they're aiming for next year. That going back to familiar territory like Fort Lauderdale, going back to Nashville, Tennessee, it's just, like you said, it makes sense to go to keep going to familiar places. But you know, they're going back to New York again. This is like the second time I think they've gone to New York this year, and they had a huge turnout last time. I think it's a different venue in New York.
I mean, speaking of familiar territory, I think we've just got something popping in.
Oh yes.
Hello!
Hello.
Bison versus everything here. Live from Indiana. Woo!
Woo!
Hello, boys. How we doing?
We're doing good, thank you.
How we doing, Bo? How's the trip?
It's going great, man. Going great. Just wanted to pop in, make sure you boys are doing a good job, looking after the house of the Bison.
Yeah, we're not too. We're good. Yep, we're good. Thanks. Yep, how's everything your end?
Mate, it's good. We've just literally, I just literally pulled into a hotel here in Indianapolis, and fresh from seeing the legendary Jake Chris yesterday in Dayton, which was pretty cool. And like I say, he gave me this bad boy. Look at this. Mate.
Nice.
If anyone remembers this one,
I do.
signed on the back. Look at that.
One for the man cave.
Awesome.
Look at that. I go pride of place in the man cave when I get back. Hey, so everyone can see it in the background. It'll be there. There.
Nice.
But, yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be. I'm looking forward to this this Friday. I've been setting up my plans, making sure I'm going to get there in good time. Hopefully, we'll get to see some of you guys at the show, which is going to be fantastic. Really looking forward to that. Hopefully, we can get as many as a TNI tribe there as possible. Really looking forward to it. Can't wait.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
And
Got a question for you. Got a question here for you, Bison. How'd the dance competition go?
Hang on. There you go. Anna's looking for a Bison t-shirt. She's going to wear a Lord Bison t-shirt at the show. That'd be cool. Looking forward to that.
Question for bonus, baby. How'd the dance competition go?
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, going well. Had fun there. Loads of cool stuff. Everyone's like, oh my god, can't believe Bison's in the house. Awesome.
Yeah.
Now listen, guys.
Yeah,
I was just having a little run in. You guys doing a fantastic job. There is. I'm really, really pleased with what you're doing at the moment. I did manage to catch a little bit of the show last week, so just keep doing what you're doing, guys. Doing a great job. Hopefully, I'll be able to jump in next Wednesday for the review of Emergence, as I'm obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know yet because that's the day I'm actually travelling home. So if I get back in time, I will be on the review. If not, it'll be the following week, guys. But I will do my best to get back in time, and it will be cool because I would have actually been at
get a front row seat.
So it'll be really, really cool. I do want to remind everyone, though, not long now. I think this is episode 96, or is it 95?
95.
95 today. So we've got 5 more episodes until the big 100th episode. So we've got to make sure that we are plugging. Let's get as many people watching TNI-UK impacted as possible. And we're going to have a big show. We're going to have a real big show. I've been talking to a few people, dotting some I's, crossing some T's. We got some special shit going on. So this make sure we join us for that one as well. But listen, guys, if you're going to be at Emergence on Friday, make sure you come and say hello. I'll be wearing my Bison shirt. I'll be with Mr. J Bone himself, the Bone Daddy, and of course I'll be with William as well. But I think Trent will be around. I'm not sure in what capacity he's going to be around at the moment, but Trent will be around as well. So don't forget to come and say hi. Get loads of pictures. It'd be great to get some selfies done. That'd be fantastic with you TNI Tribe guys. That'd be really cool. We really enjoyed meeting you guys. Like we did some of the UK people we met at the Rest of Carham show.
Yeah, definitely.
That was great. Special shout out to Joseph. And a few, and there was a couple, I can't remember. I think it was Craig Impact was there.
Yeah.
There's another fellow as well. I can't remember his name. That's really bad of me. But so there was a few guys that came over and met, which was great. So I'm excited to meet some of you American guys. So that would be fab. So listen, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'll see you at Emergence this Friday the 12th. Let's do it. Take care,
for the
guys.
Bison.
Take
care, Bo.
Well, that's one hell of a shout out. So I've seen saw the pictures of him and Jake Chris yesterday, and I was thinking, oh, you lucky bastard. It's one on my wish list. It would be great to meet Jake Chris. It would be great to meet Eddie Edwards or Sammy Callahan or Rosemary. There's on my wish list for Impact Wrestling. Oh, God.
Yeah, I'd say it was great seeing those two together. Yeah, it's like I say, I think that's one of Bison's sort of things on his tick sheet now. Met Jake Chris in person. Yeah, it's one
off his bucket list. Before we go on to the predictions, we can't ignore the insane week that was last week. We had another solid week from Impact Wrestling again, and PCO stealing the main event with that after being chokeslammed through the ring by Doc Gallows. So before we jump on to the full predictions and the preview of Thursday, I'm going to quickly go over some of the highlights from last week. because there is some that are worth talking about. Alicia Edwards and Savannah Evans' match on BTI was unexpectedly evenly matched right up until the end. Alicia Edwards' speed and size playing into her favour, making Savannah Evans' domination really hard to maintain until she finally did win with the full Nelson Slam. Jessica cost Rosemary a win over Diana Perrazzo, severely damaging any momentum going into Emergence, whether it's Diana Perrazzo playing mind games and just cracking Jessica, or Jessica is indeed still just a baby and needs some more love and then mentoring from Ty Valkyrie and Rosemary.
Because I'm sick!
Either way, it's not looking great for Ragnarok, and I must admit I'm a bit concerned. Indiguja got some revenge on Brian Myers after Myers grabbed the ropes and saw the victory over Black Taurus and retained the Digital Media Championship. So could this be a potential match at the pre-show Emergence? I certainly hope so. I think it's time Kusha got that title shot he deserves.
Yeah.
Giselle Shaw beat Alicia Edwards' record in the how long until Masha Somovich kills you contest. Last I was giggling writing that out. I must admit, it's not that funny, but still, I was giggling right when I was writing that out. Here we go. Right,
but no, it's still an interesting sort of challenge, and like I say, I really hope that they come full circle and have Alicia come out and say, look, I'm still the one who's lasted the longest. I really hope they do come full circle.
Exactly. You know, Giselle Shaw not only outlasted Alicia, she actually nearly beat Smasher Somovich twice, getting at least 2 near pinfalls before eating the snowplow, leaving it 14-0 for Masha Somovich since she's come into Impact Wrestling.
Yeah,
and
you can tell that they're high on Giselle, because this was the most that Masha has been challenged.
Yeah, this was huge. It was a really impressive match too. I must admit, I was really entertained by this one. And hello, Steve. It's good to see you. In Lost, Violent by Design seem to be close together for now, as Eric Young unexpectedly backed up Dina and Doring after they lost to the Motor City Machine Guns. But in victory, Sammy Callahan seems to have fallen victim once again to another coordinated attack between Moose and Steve Macklin. And momentum and unity are the 2 major themes going into Emergence, as we've seen from the aforementioned Violent by Design and Motor City Machine Guns. But the 2 teams that are really showing it more than anything are Honor No More and the Bullet Club. Now, the Bullet Club, despite all the recent losses, are a solid unit, and they just seem to be going full pelt, all guns blazing. They know they've got this in the bud. While Honor No More seems to be on the brink of imploding, mostly down to Eddie Edwards' failing leadership skills. But
yeah,
before we jump ahead, I got to give my full reaction to PCO and Doc Gallows. That Monsters Ball, it wasn't as good as Jonah versus PCO, I must admit, but from a story perspective, it was brilliant. And when PCO went through the ring, I honestly thought that was it, and he'd lost the match. So when he come back out the ring and then managed to knock Doc Gallows and pin him, that sent a huge message, not just to the fans and to the Bullet Club, but sent the message to Eddie Edwards saying, you know, don't leave me out of this match. But if momentum is going to be selling the Honor No More's favour, is another thing entirely. But hopefully it'll at least settle Eddie Edwards' nerve a bit more, because at the moment he is cracking quite a lot. And I mean, we've seen Matt Taven and Vincent taking over the leadership role to shut Eddie Edwards up.
So, yeah, it's quite an interesting situation, isn't it? With where they're going, you know, you this match that's coming up, you could see it going either way, but you know the direction that it should, but it really could go either way, couldn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, the match that they had, PCO and Gallo. So someone made a point on Twitter saying that every time they do a special graphic, you know the match is going to be good. Because they go out of their way to do a special graphic for a match that is going to raise the roof. And I was like, yeah, that's a really good point. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I now want to see Gallows in more singles matches, because we see Anderson in a few, but we don't see Gallows in that many.
No, but then Gallows needs to be against someone that's going to really put him through his paces, really. Because he's huge. You know, he needs someone like Josh Alexander, maybe Brian Myers, PCO. Rupinder Gujjar could probably give him a good match too.
Yeah, I mean, you could even do the old David and Goliath and put him in there with Speedball. You know, the speed versus the strength kind of thing.
Yeah, seeing Dr. Dangley getting I've forgotten what Mike Bailey's finish was now. The
Ultimo Weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no.
Before we go on to the predictions, we got the upcoming card, because now it's coming now.
Oh yes, please.
Gallows and Moose would be amazing. Yes. Or I think we've had Gallows and Macklin in the past, but I'd love to see them two go at it again too. The digital media exclusive this week was Vargas versus Brian Myers. I did try to watch it last night, but was distracted a lot by the dogs, as you can hear them now. But it was the Digital Media Championship, so I'm pretty sure we can guess who won this match, or how it ended at least. It was at Creator Pro Wrestling's Shook Crew Fun Fair 2. Like I said, I've not seen it fully, but from what I did see, it was a pretty interesting match, and Brian Myers got put through his paces and missed quite a lot. So if you get a chance to check it out, by all means go and check it out. BTI this week is Steve Macklin versus Crazy Steve. Obviously Macklin getting a bit of frustration vented from Crazy Steve stirring the pot a couple of weeks ago. Got the in-ring debut of Killer Kelly. Miriam versus Madison Rain, what could be Madison Rain's last match in Impact Wrestling. Dina versus Kushida. Carl Anderson versus Kenny King, which is going to be a huge momentum settler there, and it could even set up a match for Emergence. And Rocky Romero versus Mike Bailey, and the winner of that match will then go on to face Jack Evans at Emergence, which is a huge surprise. It's good to see Jack Evans back finally after his injury prior to Summerversary.
Yeah,
but to see, I'm pretty sure it's going to be him versus Mike Bailey. I'm going to put that out there now.
Yeah,
but it's an interesting. It was a great way to welcome him back to Impact Wrestling by giving him a match for the X Division title.
It makes sense, you know. He was meant to get a shot at in the Ultimate X, but obviously couldn't compete. So in a way, while he didn't technically earn it, he was meant to get the shot. So you know, he still has that shot in his pocket. So why not put Jack Evans in there? Technically, no one has been built up for a #1 contender shot. So if you've got Jack Evans who was meant to get a shot but didn't get it, throw him in there. It makes perfect sense. I mean, it's one of those where I would love this match between Mike Bailey and Rocky Romero, just because they're both amazing talents, and I think it would be less predictable. I think it would be great if it came down to like a DQ. That way you would get Rocky Romero in the match as well. But we don't see many one-on-ones for the X Division title, so it would also be nice to get a one-on-one. The only people that would cause a disqualification would be by design, and they got no reason to go after Mike Bailey at the moment. No, like I say, the X Division doesn't really have many heels in it currently. No, it never seems, for a while it's never been about who's facing who in the X Division. It's been more who's got it and who hasn't got it. You know, Trey Miguel, we thought he was going to go full-blown heel, but he's just there. Yeah, like I say, it's the heel turn is coming. It's just a slow burner, you know. It feels like it's either going to come. I would feel maybe Victory Road seems like a good sort of balance point, because you feel like he's doing something with Laredo Kid currently. You know, sort of like earning his trust, and it's like, you know, he's going to turn on him at some point. Well, someone's going to make him snap. He's going to lose another match. Just going to snap. But other potential matches I could see coming from this week
with the card that we got at the moment for this week's Impact Wrestling, hopefully we'll get Heath in a match against Kenny King to get that part of the rivalry sorted. I think, and I mentioned earlier, we could be seeing Myers and Gupinda Gujar, maybe even Killer Kelly versus Savannah Evans or Sasha Steels on the pre-show. So this week's another one to watch, and we've got the contract signing between Josh Alexander and Mike Bailey too. So, and we all know how good the contract signings are in pro wrestling.
Yeah, like I say, I can't remember the contract signing, which one it was, but there was one contract signing that happened, and it's a shame Critical Sting in here, but there was one where they were doing it and they instantly, they just said, turn the tables over. It's like, well, this is what's going to end, so why don't we just do it now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is going to be an interesting one, because while Shelley has that kind of aura about him, he isn't that kind of technical heel. So yeah, you feel like this one, unless again someone gets involved, they're just gonna sign the contract and do it out of a matter of respect.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of respect, and it's going to be a lot of toing and throwing, war of words more than anything else. Eddie Edwards did have a pitch at Josh Alexander last week, so I think the most difference we'll get is probably Eddie Edwards coming out to try and stir the pot there. But even then, that's not going to do much, because Eddie Edwards has got the Bullet Club to focus on more than anything else. So if anything, that's just going to show he's more focused on something else, which is then adding more direction from where the 5-on-5 is going. And
yeah. Oh, welcome in, Mark.
Good to see you, Mark.
Yeah. Hope your work conference goes okay. You think Shelley's going to join Bullet Club?
No.
No, and to be honest, I kind of hope no one else does for the moment. Bullet Club at the moment I think has a nice number. They've got four members from Impact currently, and if anyone else wants to come in, like, they can bring Hikuleo, they can bring ELP, they can bring Jay White, and that makes 5, which again is a nice number. I think if they add any more, it becomes a bit of a cluster.
Yeah, but if anything, the only advantage of finding Alex Shelley would be that then if they go to like AEW, Alex Shelley could go to AEW as part of the Bullet Club. It doesn't offer anything for Impact Wrestling, and it doesn't really offer for New Japan Pro Wrestling either, because the Bullet Club's main focus is how is it going to affect New Japan Pro Wrestling.
The only thing I can see from Shelley is a turn on Saban or something, which in some way reforming the time splitters with Kushida. That's the only thing I can see from Shelley other than what he's doing now.
Okay, well, we'll get on to the predictions and everything now. We currently don't have any matches announced for the pre-show, so there's 2 big empty spaces there. No pun intended. The main card, in no particular order, we have Violent by Design versus Kushida and Chris Sabin. This is going to be a pretty interesting match, because it's do or die for Dina and Doring. And Kushida and Sabin, they showed a lot of solidarity, obviously being a part of the time splitters like Shelley. And this is going to be one hell of a match to look out for. Wherever it's placed on the card, it's going to steal the show, I think, or be very close to it. I honestly couldn't predict a winner, but I'm going to say Kushida and Sabin get the win in this match. What about you?
Yeah, like I think personally, looking at the story, Kushida and Sabin winning this, it adds a bit more to the Violent by Design deterioration. I mean, EY is still very interesting here, because you don't know what side he's falling on. You really don't. Like, the fact that he came out and helped Dina and Doring the other week was very confusing, actually.
Yeah.
So part of me wonders if he's going to come out and do the opposite here, or even not come out at all. But yeah, like, we're getting a couple of Kushida and Sabins in the chat, and yeah, I think I'm inclined to go along with it.
Yeah, I think that's where I can see it going. And we then got Ragnarok with Jessica versus Vexed for the Knockouts tag team titles. I touched on the momentum Ragnarok's got at the moment earlier. Jessica's been a massive spanner in the works, and knocking Valkyrie's focus off completely with mimosas and all sorts, while Rosemary's literally screaming into a pillow, trying to get everyone focused on the match. I'm looking forward to it regardless. Everyone knows I'm a huge fan of Rosemary and Valkyrie, and Havoc's been absolutely hilarious since she's come back up from the underground. But I can see this going along the lines of where Rosemary was trying to get Su Yung back. So Ragnarok are probably going to lose this match, sadly, unless Havoc pulls something massive out the bag and actually does live up to a word from last week and help Rosemary and Valkyrie pick up the win.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think in Vexed, you have a team that is slowly starting to gel, and they're at that point now where I think if you don't pull the trigger, they've then got to build themselves up again. And until they build themselves up again, you don't really have any teams to put in there. So, yeah, it feels like it. Oh, Deb Punk's saying it seems too soon to put the titles on Vexed. But yeah, while they have the titles, it's going to be interesting to see, I think, what they do with Ragnarok. But yeah, it would have been nice, I think, to have them have a nicer reign. I mean, it could always go like the way the Rascals done it, where Vexed pin Havoc and she's not in the match, and then Ragnarok get the pin kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm looking at it more because Rosemary's more a story
driven
wrestler rather than it's all about gold. So I think that's one reason why I see Vex doing it. But if Rosemary and Valkyrie do retain the titles, then they're going to be pressed really hard by Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green. So it's not going to damage Vex in any way if they don't win this match. And if anything, it's going to put more pressure on Rosemary and Havoc. This could be like, it's a fluke victory because Havoc got involved and made and helped them win. So
Vexed didn't win; they lost.
Yeah. And we got Bandito versus Ray Horus from AAA as an exhibition match coming up, which is going to be incredible. I can assure you. If you guys have not seen Bandito, you guys are in for a treat. And I've not seen Ray Horus, but anyone that if he's like Ray Phoenix or Ray Mysterio, then we know that this guy's going to be huge. It's going to be one with a hell of a high flyer, and this match is going to be really, really fast paced.
I love this match.
Damn right, yeah. Yeah. I honestly couldn't pick a winner, but I would say Bandito, given that Radio Kids talked about him as well, and Bandito has said that he is interested in working with Impact Wrestling. So
yeah.
But this match is just going to be a huge treat for everybody, given that they had a hell of a showing at Ric Flair's last match as well, with Black and the Radio Kids. So it's just a great way to give them more exposure in the US.
Yeah, I mean, this could very well be your opener because they like to start with a fast-paced match, and I feel like this could be your opening match. But Bandito, I feel like, could be your winner here because he's got, like we said, the Laredo Kid sort of connection, and also you've got to think, could Impact be looking to bring someone like Jonathan Gresham back, and there's a connection there.
Yes, yeah. I have seen rumours about Jonathan Gresham possibly going back to Impact Wrestling, but I didn't add it because it just seems a bit too soon to talk about that.
It does, but it's one of those where, like, if you bring in back a former, the former interim Ring of Honor champion who he feuded with, then it's one of those where, like, it's something. Impact aren't ones to shy away from things that have happened in other companies.
Yeah.
So he's someone who could come in and instantly be put in feuds with a lot of different people. So, and I think Rey Horus could too. But I think of the two, Bandito has a bit more to him.
Yeah, definitely. Looking at the comments, Bonus Baby's I think Bonus Baby's got the right predictions in there, and Dead Punk too. Yes, Bandito's got the most momentum, so I think it makes sense him winning. Bonus Baby's get the fire extinguishers ready. The ring's going to be set ablaze. This match is going to be on fire. This match is going to be really, really good. And Violet is saying about Ragnarok. Yes, they don't need the belts to be over. That's the thing I was getting at with Rosemary. Why I think they're most likely going to lose. Rosemary's so over now. Titles don't mean anything, or don't mean anything for her. It's a difficult way to explain it, really. When I say that, because some people need belts to make themselves look relevant. Yeah. Rosemary doesn't, and Taya Valkyrie doesn't either. Not in Impact Wrestling. Yeah,
and the thing is, they may not need the belts to be over. The trouble is, when you've got the Knockouts division as it is, you don't have too many teams to pick from. So sometimes you have to just say, okay, this is the team that we have right now. So until Impact managed to bolster the Knockouts tag titles division, it is a bit tricky.
Yeah. So looking at some of the comments, Miriam and Dead Punk, all I can say about DK is he has lost his mind a long time ago, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're seeing it now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got Sammy Carham versus Steve Macklin. Then this is going to be pretty good. We'll see if Moose does get involved or not. Although we might see a confrontation between Moose and Macklin on this week's Impact Wrestling. It could be a get the fuck out of my face. Two of them backstage after Macklin's match against Crazy Steve. But this is going to be a good one, because Sammy Carham's now going to be looking over his shoulder a lot more.
Definitely.
But we know he's not going to hold back against Macklin, and Macklin's not going to hold back against Sammy. So this is going to be a really good match. Hopefully it might even break down a bit for some weapons involved, but you never know. It's always good to see Sam with a bat and Macklin with a chair and see who blinks first.
Yeah, and we've got a few splits, and it's a tough one to call. I mean, instantly you're thinking Macklin, just because it does halt Sammy a little, and I mean, Macklin has already been halted, hasn't he? So he needs to have a little bit of momentum. And if it is one of those where it is anything goes, then the easiest thing is, okay, Moose gets involved, and then it sets up a tag somewhere.
Yeah. I think Steve Mack. I'm reading the comments now. Macklin going over possibly to go against Josh Alexander for Bound for Glory. That Macklin has been said for a while, but Macklin's getting a push for Bound for Glory earlier this year. There was rumours going around, so this could be the start of it. It could be Macklin and Moose versus Josh Alexander, or Macklin, Moose, and Sammy Callahan. Now Sammy's back, which would be really, really good to see.
Yeah, it's difficult to tell what direction Impact are going in at the moment. I mean, it's one of those where at the moment no one looks like they're near the title, but just a couple of matches and you're like, okay, I see I see where they're going. But yeah, I mean, Macklin seems like he's been on a run for a while now, and you feel like he's got to be close.
He's getting closer, definitely. And if you take on a guy like Sammy Callahan, and you take Sammy Callahan out, then you've taken out one of the top guys in the company. It's like when Rosemary was the top knockout in the division, Taya Valkyrie came and took her out. Even though Rosemary wasn't champion, she took Rosemary out to send a message to everybody else before taking out Sienna, who was the champion at the time. It's like one of those moments there. That's what. And hello, Courtney. It's good to finally see you.
Yep. Welcome along.
Welcome.
Yep.
Good to see you finally made it. We then go on to Jack Evans versus either Mike Bailey or Rocky Romero. This is going to be good, especially if it's Mike Bailey. Mike Bailey has not had a bad match since he's come to Impact Wrestling. and this is going to be insane. Jack Evans is incredible.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm so good to see him back in Impact Wrestling after missing this match at Summerversary. So to see him and Mike Bailey go 1-on-1, this is going to be incredible.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a hell of a match, and I think I'm quite intrigued to see Jack Evans, because he was someone the last time he was here offered quite a lot, and I was surprised that TNA didn't pick him up at the time. But yeah, he could really offer the X Division or a tag run or anything quite a lot. And again, we've spoken a lot. You know, I think he was the only non Canadian member of Team Canada, wasn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, it's another nod. Only another nod towards Team Canada, which many of us have been calling for. And yes, Bonus Baby, I think many of us are calling for that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, Alexander versus Jacob Fatutu. That would be that match was fire.
We might get that at Victory Road. You know, that being the closest Impact Plus special now. I think Victory Road, we might see Jacob Fatu versus Josh Alexander, which would be amazing. You know, we really get eyes on the product in the build up for Bound for Glory, and anyone going after Josh Alexander then would be fantastic, because Kushida's also another contender. Eddie Edwards is trying to make himself a contender for the World Championship. That's blatantly obvious.
Yes.
But Rich Swann, you know, Josh Alexander's called them out. Rich Swann, Sammy Callahan. No doubt Moose will want Moose again if Moose decides to man up and actually ask. No. Josh,
I mean, who knows? You know, they might throw EY up there again. I mean, there's a lot of names there that you sort of forget about. I mean, you know, maybe we'll see Ace go on a run. Maybe Trey will kind of veer from the X Division and go towards the World. You just sort of don't know. But I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll see Bailey cash in option C.
I think Mike Bailey's going to be one of these guys who fights till the end. I don't see him cashing in. But if I'm hoping he has a massive, really, really long run with this title, and I'm hoping anyone that has a long run, I hope they beat Austin Aries' record. I'm going to keep putting that out until someone finally does beat Austin Aries' record. Yeah. It's the only TNA record that hasn't been broken yet, is the longest reigning X Division title run. You know, I forgot he beat the world title run. I think that, but I know the North beat the tag run, and then Tyler could be the knockouts championship run. So
I'm not sure. I sort of thought that Rude still had the reign.
No, I think someone else is beating it now. I think it might. I just can't remember who it was. And thank you, Courtney. Once again, it's good to see you finally made it, because I know you were a bit worried about not being able to make it tonight. So it's good to see you. Back onto the card, we go on to Honor No More versus the Bullet Club, 5-on-5. Possibly no holds barred, because Tom Hannafin has been mentioning that over the past couple of weeks, that this will be no holds barred, whether that's metaphorically or literally, it's a different story. But if Honor No More win, then Mike Bennett and Matt Taven get a tag team title shot against the Good Brothers, and if they lose, they disbanded completely. And regardless of which way this match goes, Honor No More is on that breaking point now. So I think the Bullet Club is going to win this match, and I think they're going to win and split the Honor No More there and then. And if that happens, it doesn't damage Mike Bennett and Matt Taven's chance of getting a tag title shot. All it does really is stop Adema's whinging. I would prefer Honor No More to win, but going from a realistic booking perspective rather than favoritism, the Bullet Club will probably win this match. Although I'll be gutted if they do, because I want Honor No More to go on as long as possible, simply because I'm such a big fan of Eddie Edwards and OGK and Vincent and BCO.
to be honest, if the Bullet Club do win, it might be what's best because, you know, realistically, it does feel like they need a split from each other.
Yeah.
So it might be what is best. However, it is one of those things where if they do win, then yeah, they don't get the title shot. But then who is lined up next to get the title shot? It doesn't feel like anyone's nearby. That's why I sort of do feel like Honor No More will be the ones to win it, and OGK will get that title shot.
Yeah.
And we will still see a split. You know, I still think PCO and Vincent will be leaving soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Honor No More will win. And then yeah, it's a good call, Bonkers. Honor No More will win, and then Eddie will get the kendo stick out on PCO and Vincent.
Eddie Edwards goes Eric Young. Tries to get Eric Young and just goes too far the wrong way. Just so rather than discipline them, he accidentally kicks them out completely.
Yeah.
Honor No More do need this one to stay relevant. So yeah.
I mean, it's going to be interesting as well to see what Heath does in this match.
Yeah, this is why I'm hoping we get Heath versus Kenny King on the pre-show. At least then they're out the way, and even if they cut them, you know, because they can take each other out in that match, and then this match will just be 5-on-5 and left there. I don't really want to see Heath get involved in this match because
no.
No.
I mean, if Honor No More did lose due to him, it would be quite amusing them saying, well, we lost due to unfairness, and then having an argument with Scott D'Amore saying, oh, it's unfair, is it?
Yeah, you can see that coming too, but then
yeah,
this is the other thing I'll call is if Honor No More lose and they get disbanded, where does that leave Heath?
Sorry, say that again.
If Honor No More lose and get disbanded, then where does that leave Heath? That's the other thing that's just crossed my mind now. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because his goal was to take each member out.
Yeah.
But technically, he's not doing that.
No, he's not taking out Matt Taven or Eddie Edwards yet, or
well, he's not even taking out PCO or Vincent because they're still standing.
Yeah, but he's attacked Vincent twice. He's attacked Kenny King once, and PCO is untouchable. PCO went through a ring and got back up and just like it was nothing. So PCO is not going to get touched by Heath at all, even though I think he's the one who smashed Rhino's leg after Eddie Edwards.
Yeah. I do think it needs to be like done under like lethal lockdown rules, though, where you have like one man come in, then another, because we've seen 5-on-5 so much now.
Yeah, but there needs to be an extra stipulation, which I'm hoping there is, like no disqualification as well. That like not Matt Taven. Tom Hannaford's been hinting that it's no holds barred, but whether that's metaphorical or literal is a different story.
Yeah, a Heath versus Eddie Blood feud. Oh.
That would be good. That would be really good.
Yeah.
I love the suggestions coming out in the chat.
Yeah, and that's the thing I think with this match is it can go either way, but it keeps a lot of people guessing on what can happen.
Yeah, and Rosemary has mentioned that Vincent and PCO is someone that she's interested in going up against. You know, with Decay. So, that's clearly down the line if Vincent and PCO eventually split from Honor No More. That's what's next with them, I'm pretty sure. Okay, and the last two matches on the card, we got Miriam versus Jordan Grace for the Knockouts World title. Oh, an obsession with tag team belts for some reason. Miriam versus Jordan Grace for the Knockouts World title. This is going to be interesting. Really, really interesting. I think Jordan Grace is probably going to retain the title, but you know, there's a lot of respect and a lot of bad blood now mixed in between both of them, and both of them have got to lose and a lot to gain from this match.
Definitely.
So they're going to put on one hell of a match and really, really show what the Knockouts division can do. But I'm going to go with Jordynne Grace for the win on this one.
Yeah, definitely. Like we know what both of these knockouts can do. We've seen it in tag matches, and we've seen it at the Queen of the Mountain match. I think Miriam has been on fire since she's come in, and Grace has been killing it all year. But I think at the moment Jordynne Grace is the champion that you want, and she herself has said that she wants to hold the belt and represent the knockouts for as long as she can. And if you want to get a good win over someone, then someone like Miriam there's no better person currently right now to do that.
Yeah. That's an interesting take by Violet. She thinks Miriam's going to win this one.
Yeah. It could happen. It's not an implausible pick. But yeah, it's just one of those where like I'm not a fan of hot potatoing.
Yeah, we've seen that too much with the exhibition title and we're possibly going to be seeing it with the Knockouts tag team titles again.
Yes.
So yeah. I think the Knockouts title and the Impact Wrestling World title are the two big belts in the company right now. And the tag team belts have been all over the place. Just to go back to the Good Brothers.
Dev Punk's got a good point here. Unless you're going to turn one of them heel, Jordynne should take it.
Yeah.
Like I say, this is kind of a respect match in a way, because I mean, if Mia wins this, then it's a case of, okay, I am better than you. You still haven't quite got it. Yeah. So Jordynne then has to improve herself even more to then, better herself and then take the title back off of her.
Yeah. Bonus for everything. No. Killer Kelly's going up with Sasha Steele. That's been established, I think. Masha Samovich would be a good one too. Looking at what Bonkers has said, Bonkers will be. I think we're going to get Masha Samovich versus Jordynne Grace soon. For the these dogs have just come by.
Yeah, like I say, they're starting to do a little bit more with Masha, and you feel like, well, to be honest, you wonder who else that they can throw at her. Yeah. But Bound for Glory seems like where they're heading with her. But the next few months, I think, are going to be key for her.
And, of course, to finish off, we've got the main event between Alex Shelley versus Josh Alexander. Now, I honestly don't know what to expect from this match. Josh Alexander is just incredible. We every match he's had, and we've spoke about over the year that he's in, he just delivers almost faultlessly every time. And Alex Shelley is another guy who's just on the same level. This is really going to be a hard-hitting technical match. It's going to be a bit of everything in this one. We've seen that how much of a hybrid athlete Alex Shelley is, and we're seeing it a lot more from Josh Alexander recently. Shelley does deserve the win so much, given that this is his first Impact Wrestling World title match ever. That's a huge thing that's sticking out. Is this going to be the dream moment, or is this going to be the moment where Alex Shelley flips the switch and goes against everybody? I'm gonna say Josh Alexander gets the win in this match, because I'd love to see him versus Jacob Fati round 2. That's got to happen sooner or later. And Josh Alexander as world champion just seems to be the right way to go at the moment. But Alex Shelley does deserve a huge showing in this, and win or lose, he's going to get a massive rub, and vice versa from this. Both of them are going to end up winners in this match, regardless.
Yeah, definitely. And like I think we said the other week, like it's a shame that it's not happening, say, at Bound for Glory, or maybe Josh didn't win the title at Hard to Kill, because like Josh is only a few months into his reign, because if he held the title for a good 8-9 months, then you think, yeah, give the belt to Shelley, because he's never ever this is his first ever opportunity, and he's a veteran wrestler who has done a lot for the company. So yeah, it's a real shame, but given where Josh is currently at in his reign and everything that Impact are doing with him, they're knocking it out of the park. They really are. So I don't see how you stop Josh's run. He realistically has to go over here. But yeah, at some point you would love Shelley to get a shot or a title reign, but just the timing just doesn't feel right here.
No. And well, that rounds up the there we go. Yeah. Just looking at some of the comments.
Yeah.
It's going to be a huge match. Alex Shelley is going to go full blown heel tactics. Rope, taking advantage of the ropes as much as possible. Chokes, maybe even the sneaky chair shot or two if he can. But this is going to be really, really good. We're going to see a nasty side of Alex Shelley in this match.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be interesting if we see Sabin out there, because Sabin's going to be a bit like the guy in the middle, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's very close to Josh and he's very close to Shelley, and obviously if we get that heelish side of Shelley, he's going to be like, well, I want you to win, but I don't want you to win like this, and obviously I kind of feel bad for what you're doing to Josh. So yeah, it's going to be there's going to be a lot more to this match than what you think.
Yeah, the aftermath from this is going to be really interesting.
Yes.
Okay, and that about pretty much rounds it up for tonight, guys. Thanks for tuning in. So please don't forget to head over to the TNI Patreon for exclusive content when you sign up, and also make sure to watch tomorrow night's TNI flagship show live directly after the show is aired on Twitch and on YouTube. Also, all the TNI shows are available for you to listen on the go. Fans, sorry, let me restart that. All TNI shows are available for you to listen via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And where can we find you, Steve?
You can find me over on the Twitter at simplysteve311 for everything Impact Wrestling related. So pop over there, and that is where you can find me currently.
And you can find me at JKEmptySpace on Twitter. Look for #EmptySpace, #TheVoid. Or if you wish to tickle your taste buds and your sense of humour, jump onto Facebook and look for #DailyGiggle. And enter with an open mind, and you just might keep your sanity. And you can track down Lord Bison in Chicago at Lord Bison 45 on the Twitter scope, and you'll find him there. And like Bison said earlier, please, we're heading close to episode 100 for this second round of TNI UK. So please take the time to help us move up the rankings on YouTube by giving us a thumbs up. And if you're new to us and you liked what you heard and seen, please click subscribe, and don't forget to give that bell a tickle, a squeeze, or a smash to never miss any TNI UK or US teams content each week. And if you want to support TNI, you can also head over to the TNI's. You can also head over to Spreadshirt Store or ProWrestlingTees.com/Nonstop Impact. With that said, I've been the Joker, losing my voice, and he has been Simply Steve. This has been episode 95 of Impacted. Take care, and much love to the TNI tribe. We'll see you after Emergence.
We're Bison!